Thank you for joining me today, Eleanor. It's really lovely to have you all the way from South Africa.
Thank you for inviting me. I always enjoy our chats.
Me too, and I've been looking forward to this for all week. What I'd like you to do, first of all, just tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do.
Okay, well, I'm Eleanor from South Africa. Not really sunny South Africa at the moment, but from South Africa. Mom of two female hooligans, wife to one big hooligan. I'm a social media manager, which in short just says or means that I manage the online part of different businesses for business owners so they can concentrate on just giving the best service and products to their clients while I take care of the rest.
So what made you become a social media
manager?
Yeah, that's the word.
Well, I've enjoyed doing marketing. My diplomas and stuff that I got was actually in public relations and lodge management, game ranging. So I'm supposed to be in the field with animals, but yeah, that didn't happen. So all the jobs that I've done before starting this business was always marketing orientated and selling and, so it was an easy move from going from the paper and face-to-face type marketing to online because, my generation has now come with technology from the start of computers. So I think it's just like a natural movement of things. It's just, and I did online marketing for my husband and my original businesses or businesses we had in 2014-15, and from there friends and family used to ask me to help them with theirs, and I monetized it, and now 7-8 years later it's my full-time income.
Wow, that's really good. But I know you've been through some really difficult times, and I think this is just such an inspirational story for others so that they can learn that actually no matter what life throws at you, you can achieve and be successful no matter what. So could you tell us a little bit of what you overcome and what that journey was and how it led you to what you actually do today?
Okay. Well, in 2018, around August, I started feeling ill, where I struggled to eat properly and struggled to walk properly. At the beginning of 2019, I could feel that there was a change in my eyesight. So I would walk into corners of stuff, or we lived at the coast. So I would be walking on the beach, climbing stairs that's not there. So there was definitely something wrong with my eyesight. Eventually my left eye went black, or like, what did you do?
I did nothing. Nature just blew.
I love nature. She's such a cute. But okay, so this eye of mine went halfway black. So
right.
I thought it was like a retina tear or something, but the optometrist couldn't find anything in the eye that looked suspicious. And doctors kept telling me that I was depressed and I needed more sleep. So they gave me sleeping pills and antidepressants. And eventually I ended up going to a professor that gave classes to optometrists training at the university. And he saw me, did the tests, and he sat down with me. By then, I have to mention that by then I wasn't eating, I couldn't walk properly. Wow. I lost like 30 kilograms. I was just ill. My husband had to take care of me like he took care of the kids. Okay, so he helped me bathe, he helped me eat, everything. So this optometrist or this professor sat me down and he said he could see that something was pressing on the optic nerve, and I had to go to a neurosurgeon. So, or what do you call it? Neurosurgeon.
Neurologist.
No, yes. my tongue doesn't want to say that word now. And I went for the scans, and they found what they first thought was a pituitary tumor, because it was on the pituitary gland, and it was about 4 by 4 centimeters big. And I was scheduled for the operation a month later. And the operation they did through my nose. So that was such a weird experience,
Yeah.
waking up there, because they also said it was going to be an operation that took 3 to 4 hours. Mine ended up being 7 to 8, because it wasn't a tumor, but a cyst that wasn't even supposed to be there. It was supposed to be in my spinal cord.
Wow.
And it's such a scarce type of cyst that it only usually occurs with children. It's called an ependymoma. And I was 36 years old. I wasn't supposed to even have it, and I had it. I was the 8th person in the world to have that specific tumor.
Wow.
In that specific place. So waking up, I was completely blind in both eyes, and I think it was day 2. I actually asked the doctor. I asked him, listen, will my eyesight return? And he said, it might, but he doesn't think so. And the quicker I learn to adapt to being blind, the better it will be for me. So I did that. I started trying to feed myself immediately, drinking myself, pouring stuff into glasses, because I had that mindset of just, okay, well, if that's my life, I'm alive. I felt better.
That's an incredible mindset, because that could have had the complete opposite effect on you, couldn't it?
Exactly. But I was so sick before I went into that theater that I think it was June 2019. I was so sick that when I left theater, even being blind, I felt better. I had such a relief, because it's like your spirit feels lighter, because you knew you were dying. Your body actually warns you that you're dying. You know that you're dying. And when I regained consciousness and I started feeling like myself, because I woke up on a ventilator, which I wasn't expecting. That was a huge shock. I still have a white mark on my lip where the ventilator actually pinched me. And the doctor said, listen, you'll probably be blind for the rest of your life. You need to adapt to it. And I said, no, well, okay. And I took the mindset of, okay, I started feeding. Sorry, now all the traffic in town is passing my house now. I started feeding myself. I made such a mess of the bed and myself, but I was just like triggered, like, this is what I'm going to do. 2 days before coming home, I regained eyesight in my one eye.
Wow.
Is that making a lot of noise now?
No, I can't hear anything.
Okay, so I regained eyesight in my one eye, and I just, because the doctor came in and I said to him, well, I can see the floor's got pink tiles. I can see the TV's there. I can see the blankets are light blue. So everything is fine. And he said to me, yeah, but listen, you'll never be able to drive a car. And because I worked in your brain, you will never be able to homeschool again. And. So I left the hospital, and while we were driving home, I said to my husband, well, my life is only starting now, and this is not where it ends.
Yeah.
So I've been driving car better than I've ever been. I homeschool 2 hooligans. I have built a successful business where I am the breadwinner in the house, and my family has more than enough.
Wow.
So, and everybody that I come across that just needs a little nudge, I have that time, that energy, and that need in me just to nudge them along, to say, you know what, if I can do it, you can too.
That's incredible. What do you feel that was in your background that made you take that response to what the doctor said? Was it just determination, or do you think there was something that really helped you to become that motivated?
I'm a very religious person, so religion really has a lot to do with it. And the other thing is that my mother was a real role model when it came to that, because she's had various operations in her life, and including brain operation. She actually has shunts and stuff. And all I can remember as a little girl is walking into the room after she's been for her huge operation, and her sitting up telling everybody she's ready to go home. And that was like a motivation to me, because if she can do it and she's that strong after being operated on, or having them work inside her head, I can do it too.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did. My mom also, my mom and dad got married when she was 16 years old. She didn't finish school. She built a successful business. My dad left his job and he worked with her, and they've got a good life. So yeah, I think I just took a page out of their book. Like, if
Yeah.
they can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. So from that, you then built a successful business after that, when most people maybe would have just given up and thought, well, this is my lot in life, I'm not going to do anymore.
Yeah.
And you're very passionate about what you do, and you're very, you want to help everybody.
Right.
Why do you think you feel, what makes you feel that way? Do you think it's because of what you've been through and you feel you can give everybody a chance, or what do you think encourages you to be like that?
Well, the first factor, or the first thing that drives me, is love. I do feel love and trust for people very fast and very easily. And the second thing is that I made a deal with God in the hospital, where I said, if you give me my eyesight back, I promise to be good to people for as long as I live. So, that's my deal.
Yeah.
And the next morning I woke up and I started regaining my eyesight in my right eye.
So what do you think you could tell people right now that would, from your experience, what you've been through, could help them take away, that just one point that they could take away and think, yeah, I can do this?
You are not the diagnosis, and you are not the opinion that someone else preaches over your life. Only you can determine what you will achieve and how much effort you're going to put into it. You're the only thing holding yourself back.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic point. And I think if a lot of people take on that label, don't they, instead of thinking, I'm not that label. And I
They
think that's
become
a
the
really
victim.
important. Yeah. And I think that's so important, because the way in which you look at things makes a difference to our lives. And we talk about, you often hear people banding about positive affirmations, but in a way, you've had that positive thoughts on yourself, and that's had a huge impact and made you that today. So what would you say is the most important lesson you've learned out of that experience for you?
Is that it's okay to be scared, and that you find your power when you are at your most vulnerable. So, yeah, I think when you're as scared and as frightened as I was, because, as soon as someone tells you, listen, you've got a brain tumor, it's like you feel like you've been handed a death sentence. So where you have all these dreams of what you still want to do and see and explore, and seeing your kids get married and everything, suddenly, in less than 1 minute, that's all gone, and that's all dark. So, and the sicker you get and the worse you feel, fear is eventually overwhelming, but it's always the darkest just before the light. So you need to go through that fear, or I felt like I needed to go through that for me to blossom into the person that my family needs, and that the people need, that are going to use me as a crutch, because that's what I see myself as now, is that God is using me to help others regain their footing after their falls and after their failures, just to show them, no, this is not how it ends, this is how you go. And fear is good. You can use it to empower yourself.
Yeah, I think that's what's the wind's picked up again. What's you'll see me blow off in a minute. No, not really. It's important that we learn that it doesn't mean that everything stops, doesn't it? And I think from there, like, you know, how that can really touch and affect people's hearts from what you've been through, I think can show people that actually, do you know what? You can get up and you can get on and you can achieve these things. Yes, maybe we may have to make some adjustments for the time being, and maybe they might be long-term adjustments, some of those things. But if there's a will, there's a way. You can get there.
Exactly.
So
And if you
thinking
have the right support system, and a support system doesn't necessarily, I'm one of the lucky ones. I have a husband, children, parents, a lot of people that love me, and they were my support system. A lot of people don't have family to support them, but there are networks and there are actually groups that you can belong to where you just have to find your person, your people.
Yeah.
So because I've learned the hard way in my life, not this is before even sickness and illness and all those things, that someone that you meet as a stranger can eventually mean more to you than someone you've known your whole life. You just need to learn to open up to people. And if they want to support you, let them support you and support them. If we all just stand back and do just one random act of kindness every day, just imagine the wave we will send through this planet.
And I think I often talk about, you know, if there's one thing you can do today, it could be to just smile, because you don't know how that will affect the next person, because you don't know what's going through their head or through their mind. But just that small act of kindness can have such an impact on everybody. So bearing that in mind, and the things that you've been through, what inspires you?
My family. I do everything for them. You know, I think a lot of people, and it sounds so cliche when they say, you know, I do everything for family. I get up every morning for family, but that's the truth. I nearly lost mine. Mine nearly celebrated Christmases and birthdays without me. So yeah, I want to enjoy as much as possible every day with them, and yeah, just be there for them.
And that's amazing. But how does that then tie in with working, teaching the children at home?
Yeah.
How do you fit that all in and do all the things that you do? And I know you do a lot of networking, and you've got a lot of networking groups.
I have very long hours, 7 days a week. So I think it's just who I am now. It's easy. I think when you enjoy your job, it doesn't bother you that you're working, because it's like relaxing. It's who you are. With the fact, because we homeschool, it's easy. I can have my oldest daughter with me in my office. She does her schoolwork. The youngest one is with dad because she's got a lot of repetitive work to do. So it doesn't really need mom's attention. Where the oldest one, she has everything she needs, and I'm right here to help her. And what I like is that she listens to mom while I'm working. You know, she hears me interact with people. She experiences it when mom just reaches out to help. Because not everybody can pay for marketing, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna dump you if I see that, listen, your marketing needs a little tweak just to improve your life circumstances. Then I'm going to jump in and sort it out for you. And I hopefully, seeing that I've got a passion for people and for businesses, I like winning. I think that's why I like marketing, because when I win and the client wins, it just gives me a big adrenaline rush. So
yeah,
hopefully that wears off on the kids as well.
And I'm sure it does, because I think when they're sitting, you don't realize the impact that you're having on them day to
Yeah.
day. And they just those little things that you hope that are just sinking in there. And I often used to think when my girls used to go out places, you'd think of, oh, how do they behave themselves? Are they like they are at home? And then somebody will come back and you think, oh, yeah, they are. And that worked. That means that they listened and something goes in,
Yeah.
and when you see that they're out, when they're out and about and they're doing those things. So I think that's a lovely thing with kids. You don't necessarily see it there and then, but later on when they're interacting with others, you
Yeah.
start to see those things. And so what's your latest project then? So what's going on for you at the moment then?
I was actually compiling a training on how to use Facebook groups properly. And that has now stalled halfway through because I was thinking of doing that as a paid type program. And now I'm not sure if I want to do it as a paid program. Maybe I'll just do it as a group where I can share the information. Um, I've got a few projects that I'm working with. It was my birthday on Sunday, so I'm 39 years old now. So I've launched my Mrs. Tron blog where I'm going to share the road to 40, getting
Yeah,
healthy, but not like most people do. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to be so skinny. That's not what I'm doing. I stopped smoking.
yeah.
Terrible habit. I stopped smoking. Um, I'm going to start the next step now is getting myself to eat 5 portions of veggies and fruits per day, because that's something I really do. And then I'm going to start exploring South Africa a bit more, because Michael and I want to immigrate with the children eventually. We're not sure where to yet, but we haven't seen much of South Africa, and we've been here forever. So it's time to actually go and explore, and then I want to share that journey
Oh,
to
that's
show
going to be
other women,
fantastic.
what, 39 years old, yes, you can still get fit, hopefully. I hope so. You can still get fit, you can still quit smoking. It was very, very tough to do, but you
Yeah.
can still but I'll never do that again. It was too tough to try and quit it this time. Then yeah, so I'm just gonna share like my journey, hopefully.
Lovely. That'd
Yeah.
be really lovely. I'll look forward to that then, Eleanor, and
Thank
watching
you very
that.
much.
Yeah. And maybe you could even share that on your YouTube channel that needs to be revived.
I will.
We
I'm
could
also
maybe
I,
keep the
I actually
journey.
wrote a book in the time that I got sick. I actually wrote a book where um I explained every small business I've ever tried that worked. I actually put in this book so other people don't have to make my mistakes. They can actually just go, and I didn't publish it because I didn't have the confidence for it. And now what I'm doing is I'm actually editing the chapters and putting it up on the blog for everyone to enjoy. So
Oh,
hopefully people
fantastic.
benefit from that as well.
Yeah. Well, send me your links, because then I can pop
I
them on the
will.
end of this, for everybody else to have a look at as well. So thank
Thank
you
you,
ever
Jack.
so much for joining us today, Eleanor.
Thank you for
That's been
inviting me.
It's been amazing listening to your story, and I'm sure everyone can get something from that that will inspire them to maybe just make a step that they've not made before. So
I
thank you.
hope so. Thank you, Jackie.